Hey everyone, this is Josh from Necris, formerly Blighted Touch. I'm making a response video right now, seeing as I finally figured out how to use my camcorder and upload shit on YouTube. It's a response video to all of these how to scream videos that I keep seeing on YouTube. The majority of them are done by some emo screamo kid that they have no fucking clue what they're talking about, alright? You can't teach someone how to scream. Some people come up to me and they ask, "Can you teach me?" And I say, "No, I can't teach you. I can show you how to do it so it doesn't hurt. I can give you tips on how to do it so it doesn't hurt, but I can't teach you how to scream." That's something that you have to learn to do. I could teach you how to achieve the different pitches, but I can't actually teach you how to do it. It's a little confusing. I'll tell you what happened with me. I've been screaming since I was about 12. I didn't know what death metal was back when I screamed. I didn't know what really heavy stuff, nothing like that was. I had no clue. One day, I'd start screaming, and I wish there was a form of music, I would say. And I wish there was a form of music that would have vocals like this, and I go, "Ah," really loud. But I never heard anything like that. I would listen to the shit that was on the radio and stuff back in like the 80s. It was horrible. One day my cousin showed me some Deicide and Morbid Angel, Pantera, Sepultura. He showed me those bands and I was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. Right then and there I was like, that's the fucking shit I want to do. So, through the coming years, I'd listen to these bands and I would try to mimic their sounds and try to do the different sounds that they did. After a while, I was able to finally do them all, and it was through practice, a lot of practice. You got a lot of bands out there nowadays. And even some of those bands I just named, they'll have that one type of scream, one pitch. I feel that if you want to differentiate yourself from everyone else, you want to sound different, you got to make yourself be different than them bands. Now, I might listen to those bands, but I'm not going to make a whole song that sounds like it's Deicide. Sounds like it's Glenn Benton singing. That's not, that'd just be dumb. And there are a lot of bands out there that do that. He was the first guy to mix the highs and the lows really together like that. I'm not going to sit there all day long and make an entire song that sounds like Morbid Angel, got that David Vincent scream. That's not going to happen. I'll just end up sounding like Morbid Angel, and you'll be like, well, that dude sounds like Morbid Angel. It's cool, but you're not sounding like yourself. My throat stopped hurting by the age of about 18, not because I screamed all those years and broke it in. You can't you can't break your throat in. That's not really what happens. If it hurts after screaming, then you're doing it wrong. Make adjustments. What I found worked for me was changing my pitch up. And you might not be able to do the highs and switch from a low to a high, but what you can do is switch slightly from a low to an even lower note or slightly higher. Go from the ooh, just up slightly, and that'll give your throat a rest. That'll give it a rest, so that way you're not doing that same pitch the whole song long. If after an hour or two of screaming it hurts, then you're doing it wrong. If after 3 hours of screaming, you're doing it wrong. It shouldn't hurt at all. Stop immediately if it starts to hurt, because you're just hurting yourself even more if you keep going with it. Pronounce your words. Alright? Pronounce your words. The bands that don't pronounce their words and the people that don't pronounce their words, they give the rest of people that do death metal, the whole death metal scene, a bad name. If you don't pronounce your words, you sound like an idiot. It just sounds like you're grunting. You're adding fuel to the fire to all those assholes that say we're not really saying anything, we're just yelling. I can't understand what he's saying, it's just noise, Don't do it. If there's a pitch you're trying to do that you can't produce the right notes for to be able to pronounce the words, then don't do it. Practice in your car, practice at home, do your ABCs, do your vowels, you know. Practice pronouncing before you can actually do the scream. Try to do different pitches. That'll make yourself sound a lot different than everyone else, if you can really switch them up like that. And make sure you pronounce your words with those pitches. I mean, you got to perfect every pitch. If you're gonna go all over the place, I go all over the place, but I pronounce every word. And every pitch that I do, I pronounce every word. I can get as high as Cradle of Filth, but I can get that high. I can pronounce my words that high, and I can do it without that break in the vocal. Maybe because he's playing live a lot. He can't produce that high without it cracking. I can, only because I practiced it for years. I didn't just all of a sudden say, I'm going to do that vocal. I practice it. Practice the different pitches of being, the different high pitches. Real high, and if you go all the way down, as if it was a meter. I practiced for years on all those different high pitches to get every one of them down. The same thing with every low pitch, every loud. You know, don't listen to these people on YouTube trying to teach you how to scream. You're just gonna, their method won't work for you. I guarantee it. And if it did, it's only because it's all in your fucking head. It takes practice. Practice, practice, practice. I was watching this one fucking video on there, this Screamo kid trying to teach kids how to scream, and his voice was cracking as he was trying to teach people how to scream. You know what that means? He can't fucking scream! It sounded like shit to begin with. And you're gonna take tips from this kid, and then he tells you that, oh, it hurts a little while afterwards, but it's okay. It's not okay. If you're screaming and it hurts, you're doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong for years until I figured out how to do it right. It could take you a year to figure out how to do it right. It could take you 6 months. Hopefully, what I'm telling you, the whole switching your pitches thing, it helps, you know. Drink water. Keep yourself hydrated. You don't want to try to scream on a dry throat. You'll just end up hurting yourself. Sometimes I'll end up going a whole practice, you know, 2-hour practice, 3-hour practice with just 1 bottle of water. Sometimes I'll go through 2 or 3. But that's just me. I've been doing it for, you know, almost 20 years now. So, to sum it up, listen to different genres of metal and try to sound unique. Alright? Even listen to styles you normally don't listen to. And maybe in the end you'll actually like a few of those bands. You know? Just because you like straight death metal doesn't mean that black metal sucks. Just because you like deathcore doesn't mean that the folkish black metal sucks. Listen to those different styles of music. Practice those vocals. Even if you don't like them, practice them. Try to do those vocals. One way to actually help you do different vocal pitches is try to sound like different cartoon characters. If you can achieve the sounds, if you can sound like a cartoon character, hi, if you can do all that stuff in different pitches, you can do different pitch screams. Because that's all it is. All you're doing is exaggerating that same vocal cord you're holding. It's all you're doing to do these different pitches. The same pitch for me to go, hi, is the same way I used to go, hi. It's the same thing. All I did was just change the sound up a little bit, but it's the same way my throat would be in that position to do any of that. Practice cartoon voice. If you can do a lot of cartoon voices, you're perfect for doing death metal screams, black metal screams, grindcore, heavy metal, anything. And pronounce your words. Don't do that dumb inverted vocal, that thing that sounds like you're only going you. Don't do that fucking thing. It's good for a background vocal, but stay away from that. Stay away from the pig squeal that all these screamo bands try to do. And And if you do listen to emo, stop, because it sucks. Yeah, but don't do the pig squeal. Use the pig squeal behind stuff. Don't use that as your main scream. That's just because you can't pronounce words with that. You can't. The inverted scream too. You can't pronounce words doing that. And if you're doing a pitch, even one of the lows and like mortician style deicide, and if you're not pronouncing your words right and your words are sounding like other words, you're not doing it right. Practice until you get it down. That's all. This is my first video. If I kind of didn't make sense in some spots, I don't give a shit. If you want me to elaborate anymore, leave a comment. Maybe I'll post another video, try to elaborate on certain things. If you want to see me in action, search the many, I'm sure there's a bunch of videos. You can go on the Blighted Touch. If you use Blighted Touch on YouTube, you'll see me screaming live. You'll see some songs too. Actually, Blighted Touch, I did that in 2001, started in 2001. Recorded that demo in 2002. If you look, because like I say, I practice all the time, different pitches. I always try to practice stuff. I don't want. If you look at the beginning songs in Blighted Touch to the end, where Blighted Touch, when we stopped playing in 2008, if you look at that, you'll actually see that there's a progression in the vocals. How I started doing even more pitches throughout. You'll see that if you give them a listen to. And give a listen to Necris, because we're good. That's all. Right.